Hey everyone, welcome to Making Sense. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate seeing you here. And if this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome aboard. Today, we're going to talk about a fragrance I received from another fragrance reviewer or YouTube reviewer that has also been recommended by a few different reviewers, especially one. What fragrance is it? Stay tuned. Like I said, the fragrance we're going to talk about today was a gift from another fragrance and/or YouTube reviewer. It's from CjCityTV. First and foremost, thank you so much. He sent me this bottle. There's not a ton of fragrances in there, fragrance left in the bottle, but for sending it to me, there's way more than I would get in a normal decant or something like that. And I have the actual bottle. So I just want to really say thank you. That was a very nice gesture. He knew I was interested in the fragrance, and he actually reached out to me and, got a chance to send it over my way. With that being said, once again, thank you so much for that. Another reviewer that mentioned this fragrance a bunch of different times. Actually, the first person that sparked my thought of wanting to get this was Neil over at Mr. Miami Cuddles. So the fragrance is this guy right here. Without any further ado, from Daniel Josier, if I say that right, Ambre Tabac. Hopefully this side here has the logo better. You can read that, hopefully. Now, according to Fragrantica, let's see if I can get this thing straight again. It's kind of hard to get it to focus for you. But according to Fragrantica, the main accords are balsamic, tobacco, vanilla, woody, sweet, and powdery. I'll tell you right now, when I first sprayed this thing, it reminded me of something. I'm still not sure what that was. But right off the bat, it was a great fragrance. It was a pretty great surprise. Again, I was still kind of blown away by the nice gesture from CjCityTV. Let's see this guy spray. Some people like to see sprays. Oh, it smells so good. So this one to me, it's just, when I spray and smell my hand, some people I think might like it. Some people might think it's crazy. I don't know. I watch people do it and I'm like, hey, what is he going to smell? That's great. Awesome. Is it great? Is it bad? Is it mediocre? Who knows? This one here, every time I smell it, I enjoy it. There's something about it. So I'll tell you, my first impression of the fragrance was I smelled some vanilla, tobacco, and like an amber accord or whatever it might be that they use to make that smell. That's all I smelled when I first smelled this. The more I get a chance to wear it, smell it, and get a chance to, really give it a little bit more love, we'll say, I get to notice a few different nuances in there. Like even right now, something that's been sticking out to me lately is patchouli. I can smell that a bit in there. I want to say, let's see if I have the top notes and stuff. Top notes are African incense and bergamot. I am reading it from a little piece of paper right down here right now. Heart notes are sandalwood and patchouli. Okay, patchouli. And the base notes are tobacco leaf, vanilla, and amber. Now, all I smelt, so I opened the package. Not sure if you did this just like I did. As soon as I opened the package, I needed to smell it. So I opened it up, smelled the nozzle. Wasn't enough for me, had to spray it. So off the first spray, I smelled vanilla, and I smelled, like I said, some sort of an amber accord, and then the tobacco. I really didn't smell much of the other. The second time I wore it, where I wore 3 or 4 sprays roughly, might have even been 5, if I'm honest. I think it might have been 5. That time I started to smell some of the patchouli and a little bit of like citrus or something, but that didn't really stick out. It was still vanilla, tobacco, some sort of amber or sweet accord, and then the patchouli started to push through a bit. And again, it might just be because I've been smelling a lot of things with patchouli lately, so it stands out more. There's that cough again. I need to get rid of that thing. Yeah, it's a really nice fragrance. It opens up loud, pretty boisterous. For about 30 minutes or so, I had a pretty strong sillage or projection, whatever you want to call it, around me, like a cloud. That died down between 30 minutes to an hour or so. It was still projecting a little bit up to between an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe max. and not ridiculous. Like my coworkers were fine with it when I first put it on because it came to me at work. I sprayed it on myself because, like I said, I had to smell it right away after I opened the package. And I couldn't stop smelling it after that. With that being said, immediately came to my mind fragrances like Grand Soir from MFK and other things like that. So fall fragrance, winter fragrance, absolutely. Fall fragrance, probably this could be on the top 10 easily. I just got a chance to smell it. So again, it couldn't be on my list yet because I didn't get a chance to smell it until just a few days ago now. And I've definitely sprayed this every day since I've had it, including with 2 full wearings, partial wearing that day from work. So almost 3 full wearings. And then I put it on earlier today again. So I'd call it 3.5 wearings. That's still enough to get a good test, in my opinion, for what I see with this and what the performance is. Performance-wise, projection. So you get about 2 hours of some sort of projection, we'll just say. It does still linger around where people can smell it wafting by. Stronger than a skin scent, definitely, for 6 to 8 hours or so. You probably have maximum 2 to 4 where it's truly projecting it a bit, where you still smell it a little bit further than, a foot away or about a foot away maybe, without wind. Wind does make a difference. People with face masks, just remember they're not going to smell it through a face mask most likely. Actually, there's one, I have a little sample of another fragrance I'll talk about really quickly at the end of this, that I had sprayed a little tiny spray on my hand, and I could smell it through my face mask with my hand in my pocket. We'll get to that one at the end of this. But as far as this one goes, like I said, you got 6 to 8 hours total projection, total longevity on this one, in my opinion, from what I can see so far. Skin scent wise, I sprayed it on one night on my hand, and the next morning I'd still smell it on my hand. It was one of those where I had already cleaned up for the evening. It was all set for bed and just had the bottle and had to spray it one more time because it really is an addictive fragrance, in my opinion. I sprayed it on my hand, let it linger, let it hang around a little bit. And in the morning when I woke up, my hand still had a nice smell of it. It wasn't crazy. I probably waited a couple hours before I went to sleep. So it's probably almost 10 hours maybe from the time that I went to bed until I could still smell it on my hand. And even after washing it, I could still smell a little bit more. Still was there just a little bit, which is pretty cool in the morning. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you need on this one. I personally love how when the patchouli dies down, that final mix of the tobacco, vanilla, amber, whatever else is in there. Again, those other things I read, I can't smell all the different things that are there. I definitely smell patchouli and those other 3 elements. And mixed together, they're just a banger. It's a really nice fall fragrance. I definitely recommend getting a sample of it, a decanter or something like that, if you can do that. It's just really nice. I keep thinking to myself, like, I live in New England, so the trees are changing color, fall's here, and it's like the perfect fall fragrance. It really is. It just kind of encapsulates, if that's the right word I want to use, the fall weather in New England. Might do the same thing for you wherever you're from, wherever you're coming from. But if you picture driving down the road with a nice cool temperature, we'll say 50 to 70, so in that range, 50 to 65, we'll say. Fresh air, but you can kind of smell the season changing. I don't know if you can identify that or not, depending where you live. But for me, when fall's here, there's a different aroma in the air. It's kind of like when it goes from fall to winter, you can start to smell when you think it's going to snow. It might be a mental thing, it might just be something that you think you can smell. But in my opinion, I can just tell based on living in New England my whole life. So this one here, Ambre Tabac from Daniel Josier or Josier or whatever way you want to say it. To me, absolute phenomenal fragrance. If you are into, and it's funny because it has like a boozy note to it, right? That I can't put my finger on. But when I first spray it, there's this just like waft of like a boozy type of a smell. But it's not like a negative booziness. It's just a cool boozy smell. But I think it's the mixture of those different elements that I talk about between the tobacco, the amber accord or whatever that thing is, and the vanilla. But overall, it's just awesome. I definitely recommend getting your nose on it. I want to say quick again, Neil at Mr. Miami Cuddles, thanks so much for talking about this one so many times because I had to get my nose on it. CjCityTV, dude, I can't say enough. Thank you so much for sending that my way. I really do appreciate that. It's really cool the people you get to meet, some of the friends you get to make throughout the fragrance community. This is just another example of, just friendship, kindness, and, it's weird, but I really do appreciate it. With that being said, make sure you guys check out both of these channels. Check out CjCityTV, Mr. Miami Cuddles, since they recommended this fragrance. And for someone that loves fragrances, that just likes to talk about them a lot too, they found a fragrance that I needed to have in my collection. Now, I mean, this thing is awesome. This bottle will never leave my collection because it was a gift. So even if it goes empty, it'll stay with my collection literally, unless I ever get out of frags for some reason. Then my wife might kill me. But as far as picking up another full bottle of this, it's definitely, in my opinion, going to be full bottle worthy. But that's because I've been able to sample it first. So get your nose in a sample and go from there. If you've tried this fragrance or you tried anything else from the house, throw comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you think it's a great fragrance, if you plan on trying it, if you love it, hate it, if you recommend something else from the house, even better. Definitely appreciate all comments down there. I love interacting with everybody. If you like the video, click the like button. That'd be awesome too. And if you want to stick around, consider subscribing if you like the content we put out here. I'm going to try to keep continuing doing more videos. It's definitely fun for me to get on here and get to see everybody. I may not see you on that side, but when we communicate in the comments and, share camaraderie with a passion for fragrance, then it's just phenomenal. Remember, if you're making the world a better place, just one spray at a time, then to me, you're just making sense. Until next time. Secret last second intro. So I talked about in the fragrance video review for Ambre Tabac, a fragrance that I received a sample of. It's this guy right here. From by Killian, Angel's Share. I'm going to have to do a real video on this thing. But I'm just going to have to tell you right now. This is the one that I sprayed on my hand. Had my hand in my pocket with a mask on outdoors in about 55, 60 degree weather. And it was wafting up into my nose. So by Killian, Angel's Share. Many people are talking about it. There might just be a reason why. Until next time.